Part 33. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 321. Man. How could Chu Zi bring men back and not come to meet them as elders? Mr. Chu and Mrs. Chu had a bad feeling in their hearts at the same time, and they couldn't help but speed up their pace. When we arrived at the door of Chu Zi's villa, the door was locked. Steward Joe was about to knock on the door when he saw Chu Yanyi kicking the door open. Everyone in the Chu family. Isn't this the latest lock developed by the Chu family? Why was he kicked away? Chu Yanyi quickly walked in and went directly to the bedroom. The Chu family's house is very soundproofed, so no sound inside is transmitted outside at all. At this time, Chu Zi stood beside the bed with a lewd smile on his face. You know, I have always liked you, and you also have feelings for me, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't play hard to get at me. The girl, whose hands and feet were firmly tied, looked at him in horror. I don't like you, please let me go. Chu Zi sneered, if you don't like me, why do you want to come back with me disguised as a man? The girl choked, I came back with you. I did have a crush on you at first. I didn't expect you to be so perverted. After she came back with Chu Zi, she moved into the guest room. When she got up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night last night, she saw that Chu Zi was actually killing cats and dogs. She felt that people who were so cruel to animals must also be cruel to people, so she went back to the guest room and planned to leave at dawn. If he left immediately, Chu Zi would definitely find out, and she would know his secret. I just didn't expect that Chu Zi stayed up all night, slept all day during the day, and just woke up. She just came over and told him that she was leaving. But she didn't expect that Chu Zi suddenly attacked her and tied her to the bed, intending to do something evil. Chu Zi's face was full of disdain. Am I a pervert? I didn't kill anyone, I just tortured and killed cats and dogs. What's so perverted? The girl was very speechless. She felt that she and this person were not in the same channel. Chu Zi stepped forward and touched the girl's face. Lian, I really like you. As you know, I am the young master of the Chu group. From now on, the entire Chu group will be mine. You can live with me, good times or bad. Lian was shivering. She really wanted to seduce Chu Zi at the beginning, otherwise she would not have come back with him. Lian said with a trembling voice, I. She was only 18 years old after all. She had never encountered such a situation before and didn't know what to do. Chu Zi added, although your brain is not very good, your body is good, which makes up for your shortcomings. I can reluctantly accept you. Lian cried and said, I was wrong, please let me go and let me go home. Chu Zi sneered, go home? Okay, I'll let you go home. After saying that, he began to take off his clothes, and soon he was completely naked. When Lian saw him taking off her clothes, she closed her eyes with despair. As soon as Chu Zi's hand touched Lian's clothes, he suddenly heard a bang not far away. As soon as Chu Zi looked up, he saw a group of people following Chu Yanyi, all entering his bedroom. Chu Zi saw that Mr. Chu was also inside. His face turned pale. He quickly put on his clothes and stood aside with his head curled up. Mr. Chu came to the front and saw the scene on the bed. He picked up the vase at hand and threw it at Chu Zi. Evil son. Chu Zi didn't dare to hide, as his head was hit with a living scratch. Blood flowed rapidly down his forehead. Mrs. Chu exclaimed, Zi. Chu Dianhao and his wife did not dare to speak when their son was beaten. The son has indeed made a mistake. If they plead for mercy now, the old man will only be angrier. Steward Li waved, and the two maids quickly stepped forward and untied the ropes from Lian's hands and feet. Mr. Chu said angrily, Chu Zi, tell me, what is going on? Chu Zi was also aggrieved, Grandpa, she came back with me on her own. She had seduced me countless times before. I just followed her wishes and wanted to get close to her. Who knew she would come to my house and she wouldn't want to? Yes, that's why I thought. Mr. Chu, thinking of using force. Chu Zi, Grandpa, you are also a man, you should know a woman's tricks, she is just playing hard to get. If Grandpa hadn't come over, he would have cooked rice now. Mr. Chu frowned and looked at Lian Lian. Lian Lian explained nervously, I did have a slight affection for him before, but how did I know that he was so terrifying? He not only tortured and killed cats and dogs, but also tied me up and forced me to do so. Mrs. Chu mocked, you are not a good person either. Lian Lian was angry, you are not a good person. You look so mean. Chu Zi probably looks like you. You, Mrs. Chu was furious. Mr. Chu frowned and said, Steward Joe, send this child out for me. No one in the family is allowed to cause trouble for her. Yes. After Lian Lian left, Mr. Chu said angrily, Chu Zi, kneel down. Chu Zi could only kneel down. Mr. Chu, tell me, you, the young master of the Chu group, if word gets out that you have raped women, I will laugh at you to death. With your status, what kind of woman do you want? As for using such dirty methods, if she bites you back and accuses you of rape, our Chu group will be completely embarrassed by you. I didn't expect that you are still killing cats and dogs. Those animals are also living things. Cats and dogs are such cute creatures, how can you do it? Chu Zi said aggrievedly, I was wrong, Grandpa, it was just a temporary fever. I will never dare to do it again. Please forgive me. Mr. Chu took a deep breath and said, originally I wanted you to go to the Chu family for training, but now it seems that you are just a child who has not yet grown up. Chu family, please don't go in. From today on, stay at home. Red. I will stop all your cards. If your parents give you money, then I will not have you as a grandson, and I will remove you from the family tree. Chu Zi was startled. Grandpa seemed to be really angry this time. Chu Dianhao suddenly became anxious, Dad, didn't we agree? Zi has graduated a long time ago. If we don't arrange a job for him, I'm afraid he will lag far behind his classmates in the future. Mr. Chu, you can't go back on your promise. He made such a big mistake today. If I don't punish him, I let him join the company and reward him. How can I manage this family in the future? Chu Dianhao suddenly stopped talking. Mrs. Chu felt really sorry for her grandson who was still bleeding, and urged her anxiously, just let Zi stay at home. The wound on his head will take some time to heal. It would be a joke to go out like this. Mr. Chu glared at his grandson, you'd better do what I just said, otherwise I will kick you out of the Chu family. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 322. Chu Yanyi saw that the matter was resolved and left the bedroom. Mr. Chu saw this and quickly followed him. Mrs. Chu looked at Chu Yanyi's back gloomily, all because of Chu Yanyi. Chu Zi saw that his grandfather was gone and collapsed on the ground. Mrs. Chu quickly called someone and asked the family doctor to come over. Chu Zi's mother Huang Fengshuang looked at her son with a distressed look on her face, why are you so confused? Chu Zi said aggrievedly, how did I know that woman was unwilling again, otherwise I wouldn't have treated her like that. After a while, he said again, by the way, why did Chu Yanyi come here today? Didn't he not come to our house? Huang Fengshuang snorted, who knows what he thinks, but although he seems not to care about the Chu family on the surface, he still wants it very much in his heart. Otherwise, how would he know that you brought a woman back? He must have always been. I sent people to keep an eye on you just to find fault with you and make your grandfather disappointed in you. From now on, the entire Chu family will belong to him. Chu Zi was shocked. He is only 18 years old, how can he be so scheming? Chu Dianhao said, do you think there are pure children from wealthy families? If they are pure, how can they inherit the family business? With a pure character, I am afraid that even the bones will be eaten away before joining the company. Chu Yanyi can make your grandfather like him so much, he must have extraordinary means. Chu Zi looked uncomfortable, then I can't beat him? Do I have to give up the Chu family? How can you not win the fight? Huang Fengshuang sneered, since he can find someone to look at you and find fault with you, then we can also find someone to look at him and find fault with him. I don't believe it, he won't make mistakes. Chu Zi threw cold water, what if he really doesn't make mistakes? What if Grandpa prefers him and likes him even if he makes mistakes? Huang Fengshuang glanced at her husband, saw him nodding, and said with a sinister face, then don't do anything, and don't stop. As long as Chu Yanyi is gone, your grandfather can only hand over the Chu family into your hands. When the time comes, she will be the bad guy. As long as her son can inherit the family business, she is willing to die even if she is asked to do so. Chu Zi is Mr. Chu's grandson after all, so she doesn't believe it. How can he hand over the Chu family to outsiders? Chu Zi was relieved. On the other side, Mr. Chu has been following Chu Yanyi. Chu Yanyi walked to the gate and said quietly, if you have anything to say, just say it. Mr. Chu saw that there was no one around and said respectfully, how did you know that Chu Zi was going to cause trouble today? Chu Yanyi, Qiaoningsun told me. Qiaoningsun, Mr. Chu was surprised, how did she know? Could it be that she accidentally saw what Chu Zi did? Chu Yanyi, no, she can tell fortunes and figure it out. After saying that, he didn't even look at Mr. Chu's shocked eyes, got in the car and left quickly. Mr. Chu thought of Chu Zi and sighed. If only Chu Yanyi was really his grandson, he wouldn't have to worry about the future of the Chu family. Back in the living room, the second child Chu Dianhao and the third child Chu Dianfeng were waiting for him. Mr. Chu frowned and said, what are you doing here? Is the company okay? Chu Dianhao said sarcastically, Dad, I'm here to admit my mistake to Zi. He also knew he was wrong just now. He is still a child, so don't be too angry with him. Chu Dianfeng also spoke for his nephew, Dad, let's not worry about the child. Mr. Chu roared angrily, child? He is more than 20 years old, is he still a child? He is older than Chu Yanyi. If he is a child, what is Chu Yanyi? Is he a baby? Chu Dianhao choked, that's not what I meant. Chu Dianfeng was criticized by his father. There were many servants at home, and he was a little embarrassed. He and his children are not that obsessed with inheriting the family business. Sometimes they act like they are determined to win over the Chu family, just to please his mother. After all, his mother hated people who did not fight or rob. Although he has no interest in the Chu family, he still hopes that the family business can be inherited by his second brother and his children. After all, they are brothers, and the second brother will still give him money and protect him. If Chu Yanyi inherits it, he may not even be able to live in the Chu family's old house in the future. Mr. Chu said with an irritated look, okay, no need to say any more, you all get out of here, I don't want to see you now. The two had no choice but to leave. Qiaoningsun, who was in Tianling community, returned to Deguo village not long after Chu Yanyi left. Early the next morning, after Qiaoningsun finished doing the chores, he opened the Dolphin video and started the live broadcast. Anchor, why didn't you live broadcast yesterday? Anchor, you are finally online. I haven't seen you for a day, I miss you so much. I also want to be a host, but the host must provide benefits. The disguised Qiaoningsun looked helpless, I had something to do yesterday, so I have time in the evening, but I'm too tired, so I didn't start the live broadcast again, so let me give you some benefits today. I count myself as 4 people today, first come first served. Great, one more person gives me one more opportunity. The one upstairs, he said it as if you could definitely grab it. That's right, it's really not easy to grab it. It depends on luck and fate. Anchor, let's get started. Chiaoning Suan, okay, let's compete with hand speed. The first person to post the words "the anchor's family is safe and sound" will get the first spot. Soon, the live broadcast room was flooded with these 8 words. Chiaoning Suan, congratulations to the rabbit biting the pig's trotters. The rabbit gnaws the pig's trotters. Pay quickly and apply for a connection. Soon, a man appeared in the live broadcast room. The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters and saw that he was really connected. He quickly called his wife, "Honey, come here quickly. I really got it." Yu Xiao quickly went to sit down next to her husband. Chiaoning Suan, the rabbit is chewing the pig's trotters. Congratulations. What do you want to ask? The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters. Anchor, I want to ask about my career. My wife and I used to have a combined monthly salary of only 5,000 yuan. With these 5,000 yuan, it will be impossible to buy a car or a house in Nanjing in this life. Because we don't have much money and we are worried that our children will have a hard life, my wife and I have never dared to have children. We are afraid that our children will suffer along with us and we will not be able to give them a good life. So we plan to open a shop and start our own business. The shop has been confirmed and the money has been prepared. We just want to ask, if we open a shop, can we turn it around? Can we earn more than 10,000 yuan a month in the future? You only earn over 10,000 yuan a month by opening a shop. That's no different from going to work. That is, there is already an online car hailing service in Nanjing. The company has just entered Nanjing. It needs more drivers and has given a lot of subsidies. If you drive an online car hailing service, you can earn over 10,000 yuan a month if you work hard. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 323. Upstairs, not everyone is suitable for driving. There is also food delivery. You can earn more than 5,000 yuan a month by delivering food. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters, a little embarrassed. I don't have a driver's license, and I can't drive. As for delivering food, I'm a road junkie. I've tried it before. Just being familiar with the road conditions is difficult for me. Especially when entering a larger place. In the community, even if I have a navigation system, I still get lost. I have to ask people who live in the community to find the floor and go out of the community. Well, then you really can only make a fortune by doing your own business. But it is really rare for a man to be a road idiot. It is also rare for men who cannot drive. Nowadays, young people take the driving license test as soon as they graduate from the college entrance examination. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and felt embarrassed again. I didn't take the college entrance examination, I went to a vocational school. Chiaoningsun said seriously, what do you want to sell when you open a shop? Rabbit nibbling pig's trotters, they sell barbecue. I heard that barbecue is particularly popular with people in Nanjing, and there is a lot of traffic around the shop I chose. Chiaoningsun calculated with her fingers, if you open a barbecue restaurant, you can earn more than 10,000 yuan a month, but... The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and was stunned, but what? Chiaoningsun, but it will be very hard for you and your wife because the day and night are reversed and your body is damaged. It will not be easy to have children in the future. The couple was shocked when a rabbit gnawed on a pig's trotters. Really? The reason we opened the shop is to save money for a child. If the child doesn't come in the future, what's the use of our business? Qiaoning Suan, don't be too frustrated. What I mean is that the child will come later, and you will eventually have your own child. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that the child can come. I have another question. Will it go smoothly when we open the store? After we open the store, will our life as a couple be happy? Qiaoning Sun told the truth, it won't go well. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and was stunned. Is something going to happen? Qiaoning Sun, you must have a younger brother. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and nodded, yes, I have a younger brother. Unlike me, he has graduated from college. Qiaoning Sun, but even though he graduated from college, he is still very ambitious and has low ambitions. He has been chewing on your parents and your husband at home. In other words, he is a jobless vagrant now, right? The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and nodded excitedly, yes, Anchor, you are really amazing. You can even calculate this. Of course, our anchors are the best in the world. Our anchors are really capable. Yu Xiao asked, Anchor, you mentioned my brother-in-law. Is it because of him that our business will have problems? Qiaoning Suan, yes, you don't have enough money now. You also listen to your parents and want to help your brothers. The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters, it's true. My parents said that my brother was idle at home anyway, so they lent money to my brother, and then my brother invested the money in the barbecue restaurant, and my brother can share the dividends in the future. So that he won't starve to death after his parents leave. And my brother will still go to the barbecue restaurant to help out if he has nothing to do anyway. If the business is good, we and my wife will be too busy, so I agreed. Qiaoning Suan, if you don't want the barbecue restaurant to be robbed in the future, just find the money yourself. Don't use your parents' money, and don't use your brother's money. Yu Xiao was stunned, Anchor, you mean that after we run the barbecue restaurant in a decent way, my brother-in-law will ask me to quit and let him run it? Qiaoning Suan, yes, he didn't look at the barbecue restaurant at first. He felt that opening a shop to do business is always lower than he graduated from college. But then you gave him tens of thousands of pieces once a few months. He changed his mind and thought that if he ran the barbecue restaurant, all the income from the barbecue restaurant would be his, and he could earn more than 20,000 yuan a month. Of course, if he tells you directly that he wants a barbecue restaurant, you will definitely not agree. But he was your parents' favorite son, and he threatened your parents with death. Your parents had no choice but to ask you to give the shop to him. You didn't agree, and your parents threatened you with death again. In the end, they still gave the shop to him. Your brother. This is too disgusting. I hate the kind of people who plant trees without any effort and pick the fruits as soon as they grow. Yes, people who directly rob others of the fruits of their labor are the most annoying. There are many people like this, and I was overtaken by others. The two of us worked together to do the homework. I did it seriously, while she went to have fun for 2 days. When it was time to hand in the homework, she looked like she was doing it in front of the teacher, making me hate her to death all my life. I agree with you above. I met this kind of person when I was a student, and I also have this kind of person among my colleagues at work. I will never let go of it in my life. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and said anxiously, Anchor, if you don't give him shares, I think he will still come to rob me. If my parents force me to die, I really can't help but give them. Yu Xiao is also very uneasy. She has seen clearly what kind of temper her brother-in-law is in the past few years. He is indeed the kind of person who cannot support the wall with mud and is not practical in doing anything and only wants to take shortcuts. If the store is really going to be robbed by someone in the end, it is better to go to work yourself. Qiaoning Suan, your concerns are correct. There is a way to solve this problem. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters and asked urgently, what can I do? Qiaoning Suan, let your parents know your brother's nature. As long as they are disappointed in your brother, they will not help your brother and steal the fruits of your labor. Rabbit gnawing on pig's trotters. What is my brother's nature? In front of my parents, he can't find anything wrong except being lazy. Xiaoning Sun, wait for me for 5 minutes, and I will find evidence for you. Good. Xiaoning Sun quickly left the live broadcast room. How does the anchor find evidence? Is she looking for videos online again? Maybe. I have to say that the anchor's computer skills are really good, and she can find many videos. Of course, if she had no skills, how could she have tens of millions of fans now? After a while, Xiaoning Sun came back and privately messaged all the videos to Rabbit chewing pig's trotters. She did not announce it this time. Humizans have been waiting on her homepage for a long time, but they haven't seen the video yet. Anchor, we want to watch it too. Yes, let us see it too. Anchor, please, I want to watch it too. Xiaoning Sun, I won't watch it this time, everyone be good. If the anchor doesn't give it, the fans have no choice but to watch the expression of the rabbit chewing the pig's trotters. The rabbit chewed the pig's trotters for a while, sent the link to his wife's mobile phone, and then opened the first video. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 324. This is a video of Su Yanglei, the younger brother of Rabbit gnawing on pig's trotters, at a party with his friends. Friend A, I said Yanglei, why don't you work yet? Are you really going to let your parents support you for the rest of your life? Su Yanglei was lying lazily on the sofa. Of course, I am a college student, but the job they found for me only paid 3 to 4,000. With such a low salary, it is better to be idle. Friend already said, I heard that you have an elder brother and sister-in-law. It's okay for you to live at home for a short time to eat and drink, but after a long time, won't they have any objections to you? How dare they? Su Yanglei snorted, even if I live here for the rest of my life, they have no right to criticize me. Friend C, but I heard that it is your eldest brother and sister-in-law's house after all. It's okay that they don't have children. If they have children, you probably won't be able to continue living there. Friend Ding, yes, how can a younger brother live in the house of his eldest brother and sister-in-law all his life? Your eldest brother and sister-in-law have the obligation to support your parents, but they have no obligation to support you. Su Yanglei said disdainfully, you don't know that my parents love me very much. As long as I want to live or die, my parents will find a way to pluck the stars from the sky for me. If my elder brother and sister-in-law don't want to, I will commit suicide. My parents will. I will scold them so much that they will even kneel down and beg me to stay. The four friends looked at each other and made excuses to leave. They are still college students, and they are ashamed to have such friends. The rabbit gnaws on the pig's trotters and opens the second video with a gloomy face. Su Yanglei held a girl's hand and talked. The girl suddenly shook Su Yanglei away. Su Yanglei said anxiously, I really like you, please don't break up with me. The girl said, although you are a college student, you don't have a job or even a house. You can't let me squeeze in your elder brother and sister-in-law's house with you after we get married, right? When we have children in the future, we can't always live with you. How can he study and have a good future if we live in the same room? Su Yanglei frowned and said, you mean, as long as we have a separate house to live in, you will marry me? Girl, yes. Su Yanglei, okay, I will tell my parents when I get back and ask my eldest brother, sister-in-law and them all to move out together. Girl, they won't agree. Su Yanglei sneered, if they dare not agree, I will buy insurance for them first, and then cause an accident to kill them all. With the huge compensation, we will not have to worry about it in this life. The girl was shocked and said, they are all your relatives. Su Yanglei, relatives? Since we are relatives, we should move out obediently, so that nothing will happen. What about my biological parents? Since they gave birth to me, they should take good care of me. If they don't have the ability, they might as well go. I'd rather die. The girl was very frightened. She was worried that Su Yonglei would not like her one day and would kill her too. She hurriedly said, I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Su Yonglei felt the remaining warmth in his palms, and his face darkened. Damn woman, if you dare to abandon me, I will kill you. The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters and looked at each other in shock. Su Yonglei's thoughts were so dark. Has he reached the point of killing people at every turn? They clicked on the third video. Su Yonglei went out to eat with his parents. The parents went to the bathroom one after another. Su Yonglei, who was still smiling at first, muttered impatiently, if I had known that it would be so troublesome to go out to eat with the old man, he wouldn't have come out. This one is inedible, that one is too sweet, that one is too greasy, that one is too salty, what is delicious? I can't eat them, and I won't accompany them out next time. If these two immortals are still alive into their 50s, they should die on their own initiative, lest I do it myself. Yu Xiaoxiao looked at her husband with fear on her face. Your brother's character is really terrible. He usually hides it so well that we didn't notice it at all. The rabbit gnawed on the pig's trotters. Yes. Fortunately, we asked the anchor first, otherwise all our hard work in the future will probably be in vain. Yu Xiaoxiao, then what should we do now? Rabbit gnawing pig's trotters, with Su Yonglei's character, if you tell your parents directly, they won't believe it. Let's just let them watch the video. Good. So after a while, Su's father and Su's mother both saw the 3 videos. Su's father looked distressed. Why is this child's character so dark? He didn't follow his wishes, and he even wanted to kill us. Su's mother was also very sad. I gave him all the good things since he was a child, and I also supported him to go to college. Even his brother was not allowed to go to school. And he actually wanted me to die. What's the use of raising him? I might as well raise him a dog. The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters and said, Dad, Mom, I have told you countless times since I was a child that you can't spoil him like this. Look at him, now he actually has the idea of killing us. If he continues like this, I guess we will sooner or later will die in his hands. I know, Father. Su said. Then what should we do now? The rabbit was gnawing on the pig's trotters and was about to speak when the door to his room was suddenly kicked open with a bang. The 4 of them felt panicked when they saw Su Yonglei walking in. Let me go, he looks like he is going to kill someone. Would someone really kill their own relatives? Of course there is. When bad people become evil, they will even kill their own children. Let's call the police. Yes, let the anchor call the police. Jiaoningxun, everyone, please be patient. Hearing what Jiaoningxun said, everyone calmed down. This kind of thing has happened many times before, but it was always a near miss. The rabbit gnawed the pig's trotters, that is, Su Yongjia frowned and said, how can you kick in the door? Are we your enemies? After saying that, he glanced behind him. Fortunately, he quickly silenced his cell phone just now, otherwise his live broadcast would definitely be discovered. At this time, Su Yonglei's angle was such that he couldn't see the live broadcast on his mobile phone. Su Yonglei exposed the knife on his back and said with a gloomy look, would you rather raise a dog than me? Su's mother was startled. Did you hear what I just said? Su Yonglei said slyly, yes, I heard it all. I am also your son, and you actually said that raising me would be better than raising a dog. Su's mother frowned and said, look at the way you look like you're about to kill someone. It's really better to raise you than to raise a dog. Growing up, I treated your brother badly and always gave you good things. I didn't expect to pamper you like this, you cruel person. I really regret giving birth to you. The same goes for this, Mom, you shouldn't stimulate him at this time. It is necessary to stimulate him and make him make a big mistake that is irreparable. Then he can go to jail and no longer be able to affect other people's lives. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 325. Chapter 325. The ghost is haunting me. But this will definitely come at a heavy price. There is no other way. This person is a time bomb. Instead of worrying about him exploding at any time and living in fear every day, it is better to manually let him explode first. Su Yonglei said coldly, "Repent? It's too late for you to regret. When I kill you, I will pretend to be you and be killed by outsiders. Then I will have the insurance money, and I won't have to worry about it in this life." After saying that, he stabbed Yu Xiaoxiao first. Yu Xiaoxiao couldn't get out of the way, and her arm got a cut, but it wasn't deep. Su Yongjia went crazy when he saw his wife was injured, and stepped forward to grab Su Yonglei's knife. The two became entangled in this way. Yu Xiaoxiao quickly picked up her cell phone and started live broadcasting on the two of them. If anything happens, the people in the live broadcast room will be their witnesses. Su's father and Su's mother were immediately anxious. "Boss, you have to be careful." "Boss, let me help you." The two old men were also awake at this time, and only the eldest son could be relied on. But Su Yongjia said, "No, I can deal with him." The two quickly rolled to the ground. After struggling for a while, Su Yonglei's knife was actually inserted into his own stomach. The air suddenly became quiet. Did he stab himself? It seems so. Then the other four people will be safe, which is great. Deserve it? Rabbit chewing pigs trotters should be self-defense, right? It must have been self-defense. No matter how you look at it, it can't be intentional homicide. Judging from his actions just now, he just wanted to take the knife away. Agree upstairs. Su Yonglei looked at the knife on his stomach in disbelief. He couldn't figure out why he was injured. A trace of blood suddenly appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he fainted quickly. At this moment, the police broke in through the door. Su Yongjia saw the police coming in and said anxiously, "I didn't kill anyone. I just wanted to protect my family and grab his knife. I didn't expect that he stabbed himself." The old policeman said, "Don't worry, I watched the live broadcast just now and I know the situation clearly. If you tell me honestly in the future, I will definitely give you justice." Su's mother said anxiously, "Police, will my eldest son go to jail?" The old policeman said, "You'll know this after a while." Soon, Su Yongjia was taken away. Su Yonglei was also taken away by an ambulance. Some police officers are left and continue to investigate the scene. Yu Xiaoxiao looked at the camera anxiously, "Anchor, can my man come back?" "Jiaoning Sun, of course, he is acting in self-defense." Su's father said, "What about my youngest son?" "Jiaoning Sun, he lost too much blood and died of treatment." Su's father and Su's mother were shocked, and tears flowed down at the same time. Although they were disappointed with their child, they loved him for more than 20 years. When a child dies suddenly, everyone will be sad. "Jiaoning Sun, although I know it is inappropriate to say these words at this time, I still want to say that your little son has indeed been spoiled by you, otherwise he would not have embarked on this road of no return. You can go to his room. He has prepared a lot of sharp weapons and bought poison. He has thought of many ways to kill you, but he feels that those methods will raise suspicion on him, so he has not implemented them yet. He came up with another plan today, which is to take you on a self-driving trip and then cause a car accident and throw you all into the cliff. If you don't believe it, you can go to his room and check his computer and see his browser browsing history." Yu Xiaoxiao quickly ran to a policeman and asked him to open Su Yonglei's computer. Sure enough, the information inside was all correct as Jiaoning Sun said. You xiao xiao, Dad, Mom, look, either he dies today or we die. When Sue's father and Sue's mother heard this, they shed even more tears. They were saddened by the death of their youngest son, but they also regretted the way they educated their youngest son, which actually led him to a path of no return, and even wanted to kill them. Qiaoning Suan, with Su Yanglei gone, your life will only get better and better in the future. You xiao xiao, then will our barbecue restaurant be successful in the future. Qiaoning Suan, as long as you are honest people, do business with integrity, and don't offend me and I don't offend others, you will be able to go smoothly. But if you are too grumpy and irritable, the god of wealth will not come to your home. Yu Xiao Xiao nodded, thank you, host, I understand. After the first person logged off, Qiaoning Sun quickly connected to the second person. The second person is a young man, about 30. Window to the universe, what do you want to count? Why does this person look so nervous? That is, I was still very scared, as if I had seen a ghost. How could there be a ghost in this world? He was scaring himself. That is. Cosmic Window was full of fear, there are ghosts in this world, there must be ghosts, and ghosts have been haunting me during this time. Qiaoning Suan, the question you want to ask is related to ghosts. Window of the Universe nodded, yes, strange things have been happening around me recently. For example, I was sleeping well at night, and suddenly there was the sound of playing ball upstairs. But there is no one living upstairs at all, and there is no one on the first floor. It has been vacant since it was bought. Sometimes it's even more scary during the day. It was quiet, but suddenly it felt like someone was walking on it wearing high heels for dozens of minutes. Last time I heard footsteps upstairs, I ran to the door upstairs and notified the property management. When the real estate agent opened the door, there was nothing inside. I was really scared at that time. There were several other times when someone knocked on my door. I thought it was a neighbor looking for me, but when I opened the door, there was no one outside. I asked my neighbors if they had knocked on my door, and they all said no. What scares me most is that I can hear music just after 12 o'clock at night. I heard that those dirty things are most afraid of people scolding, so I mustered up the courage and kept scolding. Not long after I finished cursing, the music stopped. There was even one time when I woke up in the middle of the night and saw a shadow outside the window. I didn't know if it was a ghost or a thief. I was hiding in bed and shivering in fear. When I woke up early yesterday morning and opened the door, I saw a lot of ghost coins at the door. It scared me and my neighbors. One neighbor even fell ill. Stop talking, it scares me. That's right, it sounds like there is a ghost. It's so scary. Fortunately, it's daytime now. If it were night, I probably wouldn't dare to sleep alone. What's scary? If it's really a ghost, it's easy to find someone to exorcise the evil spirits. If it's not a ghost but a human being, it will be much scarier. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 326. Yes, I have never heard of ghosts harming people, but I have heard and seen a lot of people harming people. Qiaoning Sun counted with his fingers and said firmly, you must have offended someone recently. Cosmic Window was stunned, you mean, those were all made by others to scare me on purpose? Qiaoning Sun, yes, the house you live in must have been spotted by your neighbors some time ago. They wanted to ask you to buy the house, open up the house, and let their son come back to live in it, but you didn't agree. Universe Window nodded, indeed, I didn't agree. I'm not very short of money now, the location of this house is also very good, and there are still unsold houses in this community, so I told them to let them go when buying new houses. My grandma lived here before and died of illness. I told them, but they said it didn't matter, they didn't mind. Later, they came to see me several times, and each time they brought very expensive gifts, but I rejected them every time. Anchor, do you mean that the person who made those noises is my neighbor? Xiaoning Xuan, yes, they want you to think that your house is unclean and take the initiative to sell the house. And if you sell the house because it is unclean, you can lower the price and save a lot of money. Cosmic Window stood up suddenly. It's so abominable, how could they do this? I really thought there was a ghost, and I have really thought about selling the house recently. Your neighbors are too bad. The house is yours, but if you don't agree, they will do whatever it takes to get you to agree. This kind of person is terrible. That's right, they are breaking the law. It should be considered as provoking trouble, but there is no evidence. Without evidence, we cannot arrest them. The anchor must have a solution. Why don't you go catch something in the evening? Ah, that would be troublesome and waste time. Xiaoning Xuan, Window to the Universe, you can knock on the right door later and question them. Continue. You must continue the live broadcast. Window to the Universe, okay. Xiaoning Xuan, everyone, I have something to do and will be back soon. Okay, anchor. We will wait for you. Xiaoning Xuan left the live broadcast room, used the past solution, went back to the past, and recorded the process of the neighbor going upstairs with high heels. It was also recorded that the people from Window of the Universe and the real estate agent opened the door and went in. The man next door heard the noise at the door and hid behind the door in a hurry. When he saw those people coming in, he came out from behind the door and stood at the door, looking like he had just gone in. Process of appearance. He still looked like a victim and said that he often heard noises upstairs, so he came to take a look. The next door neighbor's family name is Qian. At this time, an old couple was discussing with their son and daughter-in-law how to scare the Window of the Universe next time. Qian's father said, I think we should continue to scare him upstairs. Although there is no one upstairs, we can often hear footsteps, and he can't sleep well. I've been nervous looking at him these days. If we do it a few more times, he will compromise with us and come to us to sell the house. Qian Mu said, isn't it too immoral for us to do this? It's not easy for others to be alone. Qian's son, Mom, don't you want us to come back? This is the only way now. Daughter-in-law of the Qian family, yes, Mom, if we buy another house in the community, think about it. From now on, you will have to walk a long way to see your grandson every day. What if there are violent storms and heavy snowfalls for several days? You will not be able to see your grandchildren for several days, are you willing to do so? Qian's mother sighed after hearing this, okay, you plan well and don't let anyone find out. The son of the Qian family, okay. Xiaoning Sun returned to the live broadcast room, and Window of the Universe also knocked on the neighbor's door. The son of the Qian family opened the door and saw the neighbor opposite. He smiled and said, neighbor, do you have anything to do with us? Window of the Universe said angrily, you are too vicious. In order for me to sell the house to you, you actually deliberately pretended to be a ghost to scare me. Father Qian also came over and frowned, don't talk nonsense. How can we scare you? You have no evidence, so don't talk nonsense. Window of the Universe sneered, I already have evidence. I just received a few videos, which captured how you went upstairs to open the house last time, and how your son hid behind the door and saw the property enter. How did you get into the property management team? Also, one night I saw a figure at the window, and someone also photographed how your son was hanging the dummy with a rope, and how he was pretending to be a ghost. If I'm not wrong, the evidence is still in your house. The expressions of the Qian father and son changed. All the things they did were actually photographed. But it was very late at that time, how could anyone notice them? Father Qian frowned and said, I don't know what you are talking about. We don't have time to waste time with you here. After saying this, he will close the door. Just as Father Chien's hand reached out to the door handle, several policemen came over from the elevator. Cosmic Window said, "Police gentlemen, you are here just in time. It is this family. They deliberately pretended to be mysterious and frightened me, just to get me to sell their house to them at a low price. It is really abominable." The old policeman nodded. He was also in the live broadcast room just now and understood the ins and outs of the matter. "All of you, please come with us." Father Chien frowned and said, "We're not going, and we're not breaking the law, so why should we go?" "Old policeman, you have been deliberately pretending to be a ghost for a long time to scare people, and you have a victim. You are indeed suspected of provoking quarrels and provoking trouble." Father Chien snorted, "We didn't do it, we won't go." The old policeman said coldly, "We have evidence. You have to go even if you don't want to." After saying that, he did not wait for them to speak and let the other policemen take them all away. Although Chien's family was very angry, they were still afraid when a group of police officers swarmed him, so they had no choice but to be taken away. Window of the Universe looked at the camera, "Everyone, I'm going to leave the broadcast now and have to go to the police station. Anchor, thank you very much today. Chiaoning Soon, you're welcome. You're welcome to come back if you need more." Good. Chiaoning Soon got through to a third person, a man in his 20s. "Chiaoning Soon, I am the king, hello, what do you want?" "I am the king, hello, Anchor, I have been observing you for a long time. I don't want to tell fortunes today. I want to pursue you. Can you be my girlfriend?" "What? Are you as direct as you? Ifeid by your name. That's right, you didn't even see the host's face, and you just said you liked the host. Did you have other purposes? The anchor belongs to all of us, you are a piece of cow dung, you can't even think of putting it on a flower." End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 327. "I am the king," said contemptuously, "I just like the anchor. It's none of your business." The anchor didn't say anything. "Is it your turn to make irresponsible remarks?" If I hadn't sent a private message to the anchor and she ignored me, I wouldn't have done it. Confess in the live broadcast room. "You are so rude." "That's right. Judging from your appearance, your face is full of beard, your clothes are sloppy, and your hair is almost greasy. The anchor must be crazy to like you. As a human being, you still need to be self-aware. The anchor has such great ability, who can't find it? She will fall in love with you and the earth will stop turning tomorrow." The king, suddenly became angry. "Anchor, please say something. I promise you that as long as you date me, all my money will be given to you, and you will take care of my home. You can just help me take care of my parents." Here, what kind of guy is this? He couldn't find a free nanny in real life, so he came to find an online anchor. The anchor looks like a strong woman at first glance. Even if she gets married in the future, she will not be able to stay at home and be a nanny. That's right, her one day's income is enough to hire a nanny, and others can't take care of her. How can she take care of a family that is not related to her? "I am a king" is a common man in reality. "I am a king, but tell me, how much money can you make in a month?" "I am the king" said with a sinister look on his face, "I can make 3,000. Haha, wouldn't it mean that this fortune-telling cost you 1 month's salary? Why should she agree to you? Just because you are older than her and oilier than her? I advise you not to think about it. The anchor is still a student, how can he agree to your confession? I am a king who was criticized and wanted to kill someone." He looked at Chiaoningsun gloomily. "Anchor, you speak, I am a man, you cover your face every time, isn't it just because you are ugly?" I don't dislike you, as long as if you stay with me, I will let you be a full-time wife at home. Some water friends couldn't bear it anymore. Do you know what being a full-time housewife means? A full-time wife has her own time every day. She can dance when she wants and drink afternoon tea when she wants. She has the financial power of the family and has a nanny to do all the housework. When she has nothing to do, she can go to the beauty salon or travel with her little sisters. The housewives you are talking about receive 1,000 to 3,000 in living expenses every month. This money is also responsible for the expenses of everyone in the family. They are either doing housework or on the way to do housework every day. Just like this, I still have to be disliked by others, do nothing every day, and spend more money. The person above is right, there is a big difference between a full-time wife and a housewife. You are not someone who can afford a nanny. I advise you not to talk about the word full-time housewife. It will make people laugh. Chiao Ningxun laughed in her heart, these water friends were simply her mouthpieces. I am a king. His mentality collapsed and he said with red eyes, Anchor, what do you mean by hiding behind water friends? Do you agree or not? Chiao Ningxun said in a cold tone, of course I won't agree. Do you still need to ask? I am a king, you think I am poor? You women just worship money. Chiao Ningxun, if you don't worship money, don't come and confess to me. Do you think I don't know why you like me? It's just because you fancy my fortune-telling ability and I'm also a good seller. You want to take me, I will marry you and support you. What? Is this his purpose? It's also said that the anchor worships money. Isn't his goal just to make a living? That's why I confessed to an anchor who didn't even know what he looked like. Disgusting, so disgusting. I am a king, are you worthy of being a king? The king with a monthly salary of 3,000. I am a king and I am shocked. She can even calculate this? I don't, I really like you. Chiao Ningxun, whatever you say, I don't like you anyway, and I won't agree. I'm from Nanjing. You and I are thousands of miles apart. Do you still want me to do it for a stranger on the internet? Man, give up everything I have in Nanjing. I am the king, I don't have this idea. If you are willing, I can live in your home with my family. After saying that, his expression changed, and he accidentally revealed his true thoughts. Haha, he spilled the beans. A scheming and stinky man. Some men really think that they are the only man in the world and feel that all women should look up to him. Agree upstairs. Chiao Ningxun, the elders in my family will not allow a strange man to live in my house, so give up. Your time has been wasted, but considering that you did give money, tell me, what do you mean? I'll give you the answer right away. I am the king said with a sinister look on his face, okay, let me ask you, can I marry a rich woman in this life? Actually, he wanted to ask, can he change his life through a woman in this life? He didn't want to work hard anymore. He was too tired from work and had no time for himself at all. Haha, he is really getting better and better at hiding. It is estimated that the kin was broken and dropped. It may also be that we have said that your mentality has collapsed. That's right, that's right. I am the king looked gloomily at the accounts that mocked him, and if he had the chance, he would kill them all. Chiao Ningxun, to be honest, it's impossible. Because of his personality problems, this person will reach the point of no return sooner or later, and the prison cell is his final destination. I am the king suddenly shouted loudly, you stinky bitch, you are so shameless. Give me your address and I will chop you down. Chiao Ningxun raised her eyebrows and said, who do you think you are? If you want the address, I'll give it to you. As soon as she finished speaking, she cut off the connection. The anchor did a great job, there is no need to talk nonsense with that kind of person. Those men were raised as children and were praised even for being able to pee. When they left society and found that not everyone outside was as obedient as their family members, their psychology became darker and darker. I agree with the upstairs, it's what I'm used to at home. I was used to be an emperor at home, and I thought I would still be an emperor outside society. I am the king saw that he was cut off, so he returned to Xiaoningsun's live broadcast room, intending to continue to harass. Xiaoningsun saw him coming in and immediately silenced him. Then he reported his statement to Dolphin Video. Other fans of Xiaoningsun also followed suit. After a while, I Am the King's account was banned. I Am the King sitting in front of the computer, his face as dark as ever. Humiliated and shameless, he has never been so humiliated in his life, and he wants her to pay the price. At this time, Xiaoningsun's live broadcast room. I am a king and have been banned. I also saw it. Will he take revenge offline on the anchor? End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 328. Yeah, I feel like if he really sees the anchor, he really wants to kill the anchor. Anchor, you should be more careful these days. I have seen news before that anchors were killed by netizens. Anchors should really be careful. Xiaoningsun smiled and said, don't worry, if he really dares to come, I won't let him have an easy time. Go ahead, the fourth spot today, the one who gives out the fortune teller first will get the spot. Soon, the live broadcast room returned to its previous liveliness. Xiaoningsun, the first fortune teller is by the Qingqing River. Please pay first. Pay the fee immediately at Qingqing Riverside and then apply for a connection. After a while, a woman in her 30s appeared in the live broadcast room. Xiaoningsun, beside the Qingqing River, what do you want to do? Qingqing Riverside, hello anchor, I want to count my children. It's like this. My children have been very rebellious since they went to college. Because my home is very close to the university, I let him go to school, but recently, he had evening classes, and we went to pick him up while we were walking, but we couldn't pick him up. When I called him, he said he went out to play with his friends and didn't come back until 3 in the morning every day. If there are no classes in school in the morning, I can sleep until noon. Every day when we talk to him, he seems to be indifferent, as if we are annoying to him. If he continues like this, I'm worried that he will ruin himself and stay up late every day. How can he be in the mood to take the college entrance exam for a certificate? Without a certificate, many companies will definitely not want him in the future. So, I want to ask the anchor, can my child become the well-behaved and obedient child before? Children in the rebellious period are indeed a headache. I have 2 more at home, which makes it double the headache. I have experience. My brother is like this. The more he talks about it, the more rebellious he becomes. It is really difficult. I have an older brother and an older sister. I have never known what the rebellious phase is since I was a child. Please. Haha, this is the case with my children. The youngest is not afraid of his parents, but afraid of his elder brothers and sisters. After all, my brother and sister really know how to hit people, unlike my parents, who only scare people. Xiaoningsun calculated with his fingers, if you want your son to stop doing this, you parents should not cry about poverty in front of him every day, nor should you limit his living expenses just because he has to go home every day. Qingqing was stunned by the river. Anchor, have you figured it all out? Xiaoningsun, yes, even if he has to go home every day, except for breakfast, he has to eat most of his lunch and dinner at school. If you give him 100 yuan a week, he is still a boy. Boys have a big appetite, plus occasionally having dinner with friends, having some drinks, and buying some favorite snacks. $100 a week, how can it be possible? A day is 20, a meal is 10 yuan? This is too little. That's right, if you eat a set meal every day, that's fine. Our school only has 2 meat dishes and 1 vegetarian meal, but eating like that every meal would be really annoying. The set meals are all big pot dishes, and there is no oil or water at all. Even if there is meat, it is just like boiled food. It is not delicious at all. My classmates and I only eat the set meal for 1 or 2 days, and then go to the commercial street or to improve life outside of school. Each person spends at least $50 on average. That's right, and we are all college students. Sometimes in order to consolidate friendships and expand connections, we need to drink and sing. By the Ching Ching River, you have fixed the money, and you have told him that your family is poor every day, so he does not dare to ask for money from you. Every time I see that my classmates can improve their lives, I must be very envious. With $100 a week, he probably won't even dare to have a girlfriend. I think you have to wait until he graduates before you personally worry about his lifelong affairs. I have no money and don't want to delay others. Although I have someone I like, I don't dare to confess to her. I can only watch her fall in love with someone who has good conditions. As soon as I graduated, my parents pushed me to get married, saying that I was useless because there were so many girls in the university and none of them liked me. God knows, I have very little living expenses and can only use my free time to work. How can I have time to make a girlfriend? By the Ching Ching River, is your son also going to work? I have worked in some night market stalls, as well as barbecue restaurants, braised pork restaurants, etc. There are many customers at night, so I need some odd jobs. Ching Ching was startled by the river. Is it really because I gave him less money? Although I gave him less for living expenses, I didn't treat him badly with clothes and the like. They were all famous brands. What about designer clothes? Can it be eaten as a meal? That's right. How do you dress well? If a grown man has no money, he will still be looked down upon. Ching Ching choked by the river and asked again, Anchor, are all the guesses made by water friends true? Chiaoning Xuan, nod, it's all true. Your son didn't go home at night. He did go to work. But he didn't go to a snack bar, but to an internet cafe, where he worked part-time as a network administrator. The money you gave is really not enough. Before he could find a job, some of his good friends wanted to go to a dinner party with him, so he went ahead. Later, when there was no living expenses, I thought you would give it, but what did you say? Let him find his own way. The purpose is to cultivate his own money planning. On those days when he had no money, he wanted to go home for dinner. But the first time he came home, he also told you in advance that he was going home for dinner, but you still only cooked for 2 people, and when you came back, you only had 2 or 3 bites left. From then on, he never wanted to go home for lunch. Later, his friends lent him some money, and he was able to successfully survive the days without money. Afterwards, after being introduced by a friend, he had no choice but to go out to work. Well, the children who work study are really pitiful, and they really have no intention of attending classes. Yeah, my classmate almost didn't graduate because he didn't get enough credits because of his work-study program. Beside the Ching Ching River, your family is obviously rich, but you give your children 100 yuan a week for living expenses. Even the parents of high school children give more than you do. Ching Ching was slightly regretful by the river. Anchor, I just heard people say that boys can't be rich, otherwise he will be lavish in the future, so we restricted him. Is it really because we gave him less money that he was so rebellious? Chiaoning Xuan, yeah, if you don't believe me, call him over and tell him that you want to increase his living expenses. See if he still listens. End of chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 329. Chapter 329 Score. Ching Ching Hebian nodded, opened the door, and shouted into the living room, "Son, come here." The man frowned and said, "I want to go out, don't waste my time." Today is the weekend and he is going out, probably to work again. Definitely is. He seems to have never told his family that he wants to go out to work. Why didn't he take the initiative to say so? If he had told him, his mother would have given him money long ago. I guess I am disappointed in my mother. It may also be that you feel that it is useless to say it, so it is better not to say it. Agree upstairs. Ching Ching was a little embarrassed by the river. "Come here for a moment, I beg you." "It's really troublesome," the man said, but he still entered his mother's room. "What's the matter?" At this time, Ching Ching Hebian had covered his phone and exposed the camera. Ching Ching Hebian originally wanted to ask him if he was going to work, but when his words came to his lips, he changed his mind again. "Son, my family's income has been more recently. I'll give you an increase in living expenses." The man mocked, "Why do you suddenly want to increase my living expenses? Don't I have no money at home? Didn't I say that if I use you, I won't have any pension money?" Looking at his son's mocking eyes, Ching Ching Hebian was very sad. It was exactly what Chang Sheng and Chang Sheng said. "My family has money," Ching Ching said by the river. "You know, when I was in college, my family only gave me 30 yuan. I thought that giving you 100 yuan a week was already too much. Only recently did I know that 1 yuan a week is too much. 100 is not enough at all. From now on, I will give you money on a monthly basis, 1,015, no, 3,000. The man was stunned. 3,000 living expenses a month? You want to give it to me in one lump sum? Most of his classmates now only have 1,500 to 2,000 yuan a month for living expenses, and they cannot go home for food and accommodation every day. Ching Ching Riverside, yes, you study hard in the future. Whatever certificate you want to take, just pay to take it. Don't be afraid of running out of money. I will reimburse you for the money for the certificate and the money for buying school supplies in the future. These 3,000, it's just your living expenses. If you get a girlfriend, don't be reluctant to spend money. I will increase your living expenses when the time comes. From now on, I will also buy your clothes and shoes for you separately, and they will not be included in the living expenses." The man looked at the Ching Ching River suspiciously. "Mom, are you possessed by an evil spirit?" Go, go, go!" Ching Ching glared at him from the riverside. "I was just persuaded. You are a boy, I shouldn't be so strict with you. Before, I just wanted to hold on to the money in my hands. One of the purposes was that I would be able to get the money for you to marry a wife in the future. However, after being persuaded by others, I still feel that it is better for you now." "It's true." The man asked again, "You encourage me to have a girlfriend during college?" Kinking Riverside, encouragement. With that said, she took out her mobile phone and transferred 3,000 yuan to her son. "If you want to have dinner with friends in the future, go and exercise more and stay up late, you know." The man stared blankly at the account receipt text message on his phone. He thought that his mother didn't love him at all, so he was reluctant to spend money on him, but he didn't expect that his mother also loved him. The man suddenly smiled and gave Ching Ching a hug by the river. "Mom, I understand. If I really spend all these 3,000 yuan, don't scold me then." If he says this, he will not really spend all the money. Won't. If I really get a girlfriend, don't dislike others when I bring her home. Don't worry, as long as you like it, I like it. The man felt relieved immediately and suddenly kissed his mother on the cheek. "Thank you, Mom, I'll go out then." Ching Ching was kissed by her son by the river. She was in a good mood and asked happily, "Are you going to play with your friends?" "Yes." He is going to quit his job and use his working time to study hard, get a girlfriend, go to school, and apply for a certificate that all his classmates are taking. As for his previous part-time job, he will not tell her for the time being. Ching Ching didn't expose his lie by the river. Okay, then go ahead and have fun with your friends. Don't be unsociable and come back early in the evening. Got it? Well, I won't stay up late today. He could finally have a good sleep. After his son left, he returned to the live broadcast room by the Ching Ching River. Beside the Ching Ching River, it seems that it is really a matter of money. Your son is also sensible. He doesn't want you to know that he worked so hard before, but he never said it. It seems that he is not rebellious, but he is forced by life and is not in a good mood. If you stay up late every day, you will definitely not be in a good mood. I have tried to stay up until after 1 o'clock every day. When I wake up in the morning, my head feels like it's going to explode. I get very irritable when I talk. I really don't like everyone. I agree with you upstairs, that's how I am. When I see the dog at home, I want to curse. Ching Ching Riverside, Anchor, thank you, and water friends, thank you too. I know I went too far before, but now the child's attitude has changed, and I am relieved. Chiaoning Sun, are there any questions? I'll cut off the connection without you. Ching Ching Riverside, no more, please bother the host. Chiaoning Sun cut off the connection. Everyone, that's it for today's fortune telling. The anchor has stopped broadcasting. Goodbye, anchor. As soon as the broadcast started, He Yuan Hui knocked on the door and came in. Cousin, many people know that you were able to tell fortunes last time. Will the man with the lower head be found by those people and come to take revenge on you? Chiaoning Sun, don't worry, it's okay. She just ignored that man. He has probably forgotten everything related to her now and will never enter her live broadcast room again. Seeing his cousin's relaxed look, He Yuan Hui knew that she must have done something again, and he was immediately relieved. On Tuesday, as soon as Chiaoning Sun arrived at school, Yan Yuxiu came to her side excitedly. Ning Sun, the results of the last math competition seem to have come out. Chiaoning Sun, do you know my score? Yan Yuxiu, I don't know. It seems that the results haven't been announced online yet, but our number 1 middle school is a top school. The principal called and asked about the results of the students in our school. I saw that the principal's expression was pretty good and he was very happy. I guess your grades must be pretty good too. Chiaoning Sun coughed lightly. Maybe the senior brothers and sisters in my senior year of high school did well in the exam. I am only a sophomore in high school and I don't have as much experience as them. Yan Yuxiu, no, I believe you, you must have done well in the exam. Chiaoning Sun just smiled. At the first period of class, Zhou Anning entered the classroom with a smile. Dear students, the results of the Nanjing High School students' mathematics competition held on Saturday have come out. This time our school has won the top 3. Everyone in the class looked at Chiaoning Sun at the same time. End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 330. He Yuan Hui suddenly turned his head and said with a smile, Cousin, what the teacher means is that you are the third worst at worst. Yan Yuxiu said with envy, the top 3 in Nanjing City will be able to participate in many competitions in the future. If they win awards, they will be admitted to universities in the future. Chiaoning Sun, you guys can work hard and get admitted to Huaxia University in the future. Her goal is Huaxia University. Yan Yuxiu's grades are average, and He Yuan Hui's grades in last month's exam were also good. If they work harder in their senior year of high school, there is still hope of getting admitted to Huaxia University. Bai Yi suddenly said, Teacher, what is the rank of Chiaoning Sun in our class? Zhou Anning looked at Chiaoning Sun with a look of relief. Chiaoning Sun is the first place. The classroom suddenly exploded. Jiaoningsun is only a sophomore in high school, but he is actually better than a senior in high school. Then her math level is now at the level of a senior high school student. Zhou Anning, let us congratulate Jiaoningsun with warm applause. The students were very obedient and they all clapped. Jiaoningsun stood up and said, "Thank you all." Zhou Anning signaled everyone to stop applauding and said with a smile, "In the future, everyone please learn from Jiaoningsun and strive to bring glory to the class." Yes. Zhou Anning continued her class. After the flag-raising ceremony between classes, Jiaoningsun was praised by the principal in front of all the students in the school. Shen Boyu looked at He Yuanyang, glanced at Jiaoningsun on the stage, and said sourly, "Lao He, your cousin is really amazing. She is not even my opponent, but she was taken first place by a sophomore in high school. I feel like I studied for a year in vain." He Yuan raised his eyebrows and said, "Don't even look at who the cousin is. My cousin is of course powerful. But it doesn't matter if you lose to her. She is already smart, and I can't even compare to her." Shen Boyu asked curiously, "Does your cousin often study as soon as she returns home?" "No." He Yuanyang thought about it for a moment. "When my cousin returns home, she either goes to the mountains or does her own thing. Oh, she also tutors my younger brother. By the way, she has a very good memory and can be regarded as having a photographic memory. Forget it, she can remember the knowledge points in the book at a glance, even if the teacher has taught them once in class, she doesn't need to review them." He didn't say anything about the live broadcast and dealing with the garment factory. Shen Boyu looked at Jiaoningsun not far away with a look of envy and jealousy. "Your cousin is really amazing. She just looks good. She has good grades and a good memory. She can't live without her." He Yuanyang smiled and expressed relief. "Actually, you are already very good at winning second place. There are very few people who can win over their cousin." Shen Boyu, "That's right. I can only comfort myself in this way." He Yuanyang thought for a while. His last monthly test result was not very good. Since his cousin is so good, he wonders if he can also tutor him. He doesn't feel ashamed at all for a senior in high school to ask a sophomore to tutor him. As long as it is good for you, let others talk about it, and he will benefit anyway. So during his lunch break, he called Jiaoningsun. After listening to He Yuanyang's question, Jiaoningsun was very satisfied with the fact that he was not ashamed to ask questions. As long as he was willing to learn, it didn't matter even if he asked someone younger than him. "Jiaoningsun, I know the courses for the senior year of high school. You want me to give you tutoring?" He Yuanyang nodded. "Well, I see that Yuan Huidu is making rapid progress, and I want to make progress too." Jiaoningsun, "Okay, starting from today, you can also start day study in the evening. You can finish the self-study get out of class one evening early, and I will help you with tutoring when you return to Tianling community." He Yuanyang, "Thank you very much, cousin. I will go to the teacher and tell you." "Okay." So from this day on, Jiaoningsun tutored He Yuanyang for an hour every day. He Yuanyang can also eat food ripened by her magic every day, which can improve his memory. 1 month later, number 1 middle school held its midterm exam. Jiaoningsun is still the first in the class and the first in the whole grade, while He Yuanyang is also the third in the class and the 10th in the whole grade. By the time of the final exam, He Yuanyang's grades had improved to first in the class and first in grade. Jiaoningsun later participated in provincial and national sports and mathematics competitions, and won first place in all of them. She received a lot of scholarships, which also made her famous in the education system of Quanan City. Yuan Deshan was sentenced to 15 years in prison for intentional homicide, but because the victim did not die. Yuan Deshan's mother also came to beg Jiaoningsun, hoping that she would pay the victim compensation. This way, Yuan Deshan could be given a lighter sentence by obtaining a letter of understanding. but Jiao Ningxun ignored her and sent her away every time. Since Chu Yanyi confessed to Jiao Ningxun last time, he would fly back to Nanjing to find her on weekends. One day during the winter vacation, Chu Yanyi had just arrived in Nanjing and suddenly received a call. "Have you found all the materials I need?" "Yes, it has been transported back to the mountains. You can come over at any time." "Okay, I will find time to go there." Lu Jingyi has been by Chu Yanyi's side and asked, "Have you found all the materials to repair her sword?" Chu Yanyi nodded, "Yes." Lu Jingyi asked worriedly, "Then how long will it take you to repair it?" Chu Yanyi calculated the time and said, "The spiritual energy now is not as good as before. It is very thin. It can take as little as 1 year and as long as 2 years." "How long does it take?" Lu Jingyi asked. "If you stay in the mountains all the time, what will happen to your studies and your company?" Chu Yanyi, "Don't worry, I will take time out and finish it in an orderly manner. I don't want those in the Chu family to know that I only know how to skip classes and can't even graduate from college. She is working so hard now, her academic qualifications must be worthy of her. As for the company, we will handle matters remotely in the future." Lu Jingyi breathed a sigh of relief. "Okay, I will still help you." Chu Yanyi, "Yeah. The materials to restore her sword have been found, and it's time for him to find the materials to restore all his spiritual power. Time flies by, and it's June 7, 2017. Jiao Ningxun also celebrated her 17th birthday some time ago. During the winter vacation, Jiao Ningxun was with Chu Yanyi every day throughout the winter vacation. Jiao Ningxun gradually developed a liking for Chu Yanyi, but not much. After all, she is still focused on cultivating immortality. Although there are many happy couples now, there are also many unhappy couples, especially the failed marriage of Yuan Deshan and Xiao Shulan, and the failed marriage of Xiao Shuking and He Lifei, which also casts some shadow on her marriage. Therefore, unless she was sure that Chu Yanyi was worthy of her lifelong trust, she would not easily commit to him for the rest of her life. He Yuanyang was very lucky to take the college entrance examination in his own school this year. Jiao Ningxun also has a house in Tianling community near No. 1 middle school, so as soon as the school holidays let students go back to adjust, He Yuanyang moved into Tianling community.